Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Thank you for taking the time, Simon Baker.
No.
My favorite scene in this movie is the date scene with the two doves. So how much fun was it shooting that?
Not as much fun as you would think.
Really?
Yeah. It gets a little crazy when you're in a room that's not a bad size, but it's a decent sized room, but suddenly gets very reduced once there's a crew in there and then birds flying all over the place. It's a little frightening. I don't know if you ever gotten home and there's a bird, you have a bird in your apartment or something?
Never.
It's kind of unsettling. And when there's two of them, and sometimes we had even more flying around, it makes you a little bit nervous because they fly at you at times. And Rose, the actress I was working with, Rose Byrne, is honestly terrified of birds.
I can understand that because if a bird would be in my apartment, I would go crazy.
I mean, nothing against birds. They're just meant to be in the open.
Yes, of course. During the shooting of the scene, did maybe something happen that should not happen? Some crazy things, weird things, some memories from the set?
Yeah, I mean, every time we shot that over the course of a day and a half, that scene, because it was that difficult to keep Rose there because she would get up and run away. And there was, how do you say, bird scheißen.
Vogelscheiße.
Vogelscheißen. Flying all over the place at certain times, so there's always a little bit of a clean-up in between takes. At one point, the birds, I had one bird land on my head at one point and just sort of stopped because I started getting very familiar. And then there was one take where I had two pigeons on my scalp, like sort of with their claws in my head, holding on. And I just kept doing the scene. I didn't really like the birds much either, but because Rose was so frightened, I had to try to behave as though it's not a problem. Because some takes she went under the table. I think we used the take where she went under the table. Other takes she almost started crying. She was so frightened.
I try to imagine it because do you know South Park, Mrs. Crabtree, the bus driver with the bird nest in her house, with all these birds in. So it maybe looks like so in my imagination. So that's very funny. But to be honest, if you look at this date thing, so if you look back in your life, maybe you have some date memories for us.
No. I was always pretty. My dates were always very simple.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, simple, like a walk on the beach and dinner. I never ever. I think with dates, the further you reach, the further you can fall. Do you understand what I mean? The bigger the risk, the greater the. No, that's the wrong expression. But you know how it is.
So maybe to have a few.
Or you don't. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not so favored with dates. So I just keep it very simple.
Yeah.
Red wine, nice meal, and then.
You said white wine or red wine?
Red wine.
Okay.
Because it's much more better. It's some kind of the fire of love, I think, with the red wine.
Okay.
White wine is just for fish, so.
Just for fishing.
For eating fish.
Oh. Okay.
And red wine, you can drink it everywhere.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. But to have maybe an advice for younger people. So what would you say to younger people? Do's and don'ts for the first date. Do you have some advices?
It was a long time since I had my first date. I mean, I'm 43. But do's and don'ts. Yeah. Probably I would pay for dinner if you could, for the guy. I would at least attempt to pay for dinner. Reach for the wallet. You just reach at least. That's a pretty good gesture. I don't know. Clean your teeth before you go. What else? Don't talk about yourself the whole time. Listen. Look them in the eye. I don't know. How many more tips do you need?
I will try it. Hopefully it helps.
Good.
I'll let you know.
You willing to offer anything? Anyone? Nope.
I will just try it. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you.
time.
It's a
All the
pleasure.
best for you and
Cheers.
the movie.
Thanks
Thank you
very much.
much.
I hope you enjoyed it.